to. Personally, I'm not a big person on watching and listening to speeches, but I did pass by this speech that really intrigued me to listen in. I chose to listen to this speech by Graham Weaver. I didn't know a lot about public speaking or public speakers, but looking at Graham Weaver's background, he seems like a good educational speaker. As I didn't know much about Graham Weaver before this assignment, I took some time to gain more information on him. I overall thought that Graham Weaver is a motivational speaker that has an incredible background. I listened to his speech, How to Live Your Life at Full Power. The structure of the speech was very thought out, clear, and organized. He had a great attention getter that really pulled the audience into getting attention to what he had to say. As he went into the introduction, he created a bridge from the start of his intro that counted into his main points of the body. This started a great flow between each section of his speech. Throughout his speech, he used presentation slides as an extra visual for the audience to really understand his main points. During his speech, he used multiple techniques like pauses and raising and lowering his voice. Throughout his entire speech, he had dedicated pauses to ensure that the audience was digesting what he said and gave them time to ask questions for clarification. This is just one of many techniques that Weaver used in delivery of his speech. With that, he created a connection with his audience. As Graham Weaver shared personal stories during his speech that made the audience have more of an emotional connection, it made himself have more vulnerability to the crowd. This then gave the audience more emotion to the speech and gave him more credibility. As he had shared the stories to the audience about his past, they had put more trust into what he is saying. Looking deeper into this speech and telling stories, besides telling stories about his past, he also backed up himself using logic, including information on concepts like mindset that also made Graham Weaver's speech more logical. I thought that this speech was very highly effective. As I watched and listened to his speech, I felt very inclined to know more. Graham Weaver's speech also sounded very passionate and motivating. Weaver made a great connection with his audience and kept them engaged throughout the entire speech. He led the speech with confidence and giving the audience no doubt that he knew exactly what he was talking about. This speech was very persuasive in the fact that Weaver is trying to get you to change your perspective. In his speech, his goal is to show you the invisible mental block that you have that you should change in order for you to live your best life. In the matter of standing out, Graham Weaver did something that caught my eye. As I don't listen to many speeches besides in school, this speech has got to be one of the most emotional standing speeches I've seen. Graham Weaver really put his vulnerability into the crowd and shared from his heart and personal experiences that got him to where he is today. This was something that really stood out to me, as many people could not go out and share something so deep to them. To conclude, I think that this speech was very well organized and well delivered. This speech was highly effective to his audience as he left them with wise words and motivation. Throughout Weaver's speech, the crowd showed great connection and engagement with him and created more credibility. I would recommend this speech and speaker to others as this speech even moved me to take more advantage of my life. This speaker has a great background of education and speaking, so knowing this only makes the speaker more credible for speeches. As Graham Weaver usually focuses on motivation and persuasive speeches, he would be ideal if you ever came across one of his speeches that intrigues you. Thank you.